y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be another young and rich video, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I made money as a college student and how I continue to make money now that I've been out of school for a year. I think this will be helpful to you guys on how to utilize, all of your gifts and talents and how to make money for them. I think it's also helpful because I was a music major and a dance minor in school. Both of my concentrations were in performance, and I think we all know that there's a stigma about not being able to make money as an artist and how you'll never use your artistry and how you'll never use that degree and all that kind of stuff. So I'm also here to kind of break down those, lies for you guys. So let's get into the video. Okay, so first things first, what I did while I was in school to make money, I had a part-time job for a while at Chick-fil-A. I had work study and I also babysat a lot. So I worked at Chick-fil-A for 2 years, but it was hard to maintain that job as a performance student with so many master classes and rehearsals and performances and stuff. It was just hard for me to be a dedicated employee there and keep up the same amount of hours on the same days every week because my music came first, my artistry came first. So that worked for a little while, but not really. I think that if you're in school, I think that you being able to keep up a part-time job is really dependent on your school schedule and your schedule as a student. The second thing, I did get work study. I didn't have it my first year, so I got put on the wait list. So sophomore year on down, I had work study. I worked in the admissions office and in donor relations, so that was real cool, real steady. That kept money coming in, but it wasn't enough. So then I started babysitting, which was great, and as sexist as it may sound, I went to an all-women's college located in probably the most family-oriented city in the state of Georgia. Decatur, Georgia. We're talking about downtown Decatur, not Candler Road, Decatur. So everybody had a family and had kids, and everybody always needed a sitter. So naturally they would hit up the all-women's college down the street for sitters, which was very convenient because so many families, so many kids, and it worked best for my schedule because I could choose which families I wanted to sit for based off of, how well behaved their kids were, how much they were paying, how close they were to the school, the time of day or the evening or whatever. I could just go from rehearsal to babysitting or all that kind of stuff, and it was really good money. It was really flexible money. It was really easy money. So that was, babysitting really is what kept money in my pocket while I was in school. And I think a lot of Agnes Scott girls can attest to that. So fast forward, I've been out of school for a year now. How am I making my money now? How did I make my money right after school? And those kinds of things. So like I said, I got a music degree. I did intern in the admission office for probably 3 months after I graduated, so into the summer. Also, side note, it was really important for me to be making money right after school because I signed my first lease with my roommate at the time a week after we graduated. So money was really important because we had bills to pay. And I think out of a lot of our friends, we were two of the few who just shot out. We were both in the mindset of not going back home and kind of we both had really strong independent streaks. So it was really important for us to be making money. So I was also more motivated to take any job, any money that was coming my way because I had bills to pay. So I interned for this summer at my school up until my job started in the fall. And I was a music teacher. I taught for about the first 6 to 8 months. So probably August, September, probably the August to January I was teaching. And then I left that job just because, I just kind of thought to myself, why am I doing this? Why am I working for somebody else when I could be working for myself, ultimately? I think I've always kind of had an underlying entrepreneurial mindset. My father owns his own business, so I've grown up seeing one parent go to work and one parent stay at home, work from home, do their own thing at home, and those kinds of things. Not to say that one is better than the other, but also as an artist, I just knew that the corporate life and going to work for somebody else just wasn't for me. When you've been doing it, I think that's a really, really hard transition for artistic students who don't get an artistic job right after school and go into corporate or, you know, are just doing a corporate job to hold them over. It's really hard, and I didn't want to do that. So that's kind of why I was doing like little odd things right after school. So I taught for a little bit, and then I started my Mary Kay business, and then I just, along the way, while doing all of these various things, I was still babysitting and still like up in my childcare game, because if anything, that was really, really lucrative for me. I was under probably like a 6-month contract at some point with a family where I was, you know, with them in the morning to early afternoon, and then I would go teach early afternoon and evenings, and on the weekends. So I was always working, and I had multiple forms of income. And so it got to the point where like my nannying game, my childcare game just got really, really strong. And now like I'm a live-in nanny. So with nannying and babysitting alone, I was making like $300 a week, off of like a family that I was under contract with who needed me there all day. And like families who needed, you know, just random families who needed a sitter from like 7 to midnight. So I was making like $300 a week off of that, plus teaching, any income that I was making from Mary Kay, and, you know, those types of things. And along the way, you know, I did have to work like some really crappy jobs. I worked in retail. I was a hostess for like a restaurant, which was like the crappiest job I've ever had in my life. So yeah, y'all, that's just kind of like how I make my money. I was able to use my degree. I still use my degree. I still teach a little bit on the side every now and then. But right now, my main focus and my main form of income is the family that I work for, that I'm a live-in nanny for. So yeah, and I would say just what really kept me going along the way was, one, I had bills to pay, and I wasn't trying to get kicked out of my place. And two, like, it was really important to me to put happiness over making money. If anything, I wanted to be happy doing what I was doing, and I made it a priority to find out what made me happy and find out how to make money off of that. I never turned down a job. I never turned down any money, no matter how crappy it was. Now I think I'm at a point where, you know, I can say no because I've come up a little bit, I feel. But yeah, I never turned down a job. I never turned down money, because no matter how crappy it was, you know, I knew that if I did my part, and if I went to work, that God would take care of me. And if anything, I just try to keep a positive mindset and say, hey, you know, this may look crappy on the inside, but once I get in there, I don't know what other opportunities may open up from this crappy job. So yeah, and I would say, if anything, you know, always have multiple forms of income. If you do got a good corporate job, and if you making however much you making a month or a year or a week or whatever, that's good. But you never know what can happen, you know, if you lose that job. Like, do you have your 6 months emergency fund saved up? And I think if anything, that's what motivated me to start my own business with Mary Kay, is when you work for somebody else, you never know how long they want to keep you on. But when you are in business for yourself, you control your income. So that was just really kind of important for me to have money coming from multiple outlets. And now I have 2 families, Mary Kay, teaching, and performing, and like the pageant consultations that I do. Now I have 5 streams of income. I'm not where I want to be yet. I still have some debt that I want to pay off. I still have, you know, some savings accounts that I want to, you know, develop a little bit. But I am truly, truly blessed when it comes to my finances, and that is all thanks to God and how He has provided for me. So that's really it, y'all. I just wanted to come on here and kind of motivate y'all to get your side hustles on, to get your multiple streams of income on, to stay motivated to work, and, you know, to not be discouraged, and just coming to you guys from like a perspective where society says what I went to school for, I can never make money off of, and now I'm able to make money off of that and then some, because I tapped into all of my talents. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Y'all engage with me in the comments below, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what y'all want to see next, and I'll see y'all in the next video.